Hey there, everybody, friends and haters. Hell broke Lucy here. I got something I want to put it up here and let you think about. First, I want to tell you a little bit about myself for anybody new or an update. Yeah, you know I'm on disability. I'm retired, so I don't call it disability much anymore. I call it retired, and it took some time to get used to that. There's guilt because, like any American, it was instilled in me from birth that you got to be a job. And there came some depression after that. And then it was this, your whole life's still ahead of you, Steve. What are you going to do? Well, I haven't got all the things on the plate that I want to do yet. I would like to have a part-time job. I'm allowed to earn a certain amount of money, but my dream would be that my band pull in a few $100 extra a month for each member, and that'd be all I need. I'm a minimalist. I love, like, I'll give you an example of it. I can show you, laying over there is a Carhartt coat that I bought in 1995 while I was still welding. 95. 33 years. I think. Yeah, something like that. 28 years or something. Can't think about math right now. Last week I ordered me a new one. Exactly like it. And I smiled when that thing come in. And I wore it last night. And it felt good, you know. The other one wasn't quite as protective from the cold anymore. And I put it on, it felt good. But I took it off and put my old one back on when I was out in the cold. It's going to be hard getting used to the new one. That's how you live, people. You find your happiness in yourself, in the things you can do with your hand, the things that you create in your mind, follow through on them. That's how to live. And you look at material things as something that's a necessity. Like I have jeans, so I've been buying Levi's since high school. And I buy good shoes. My grandfather taught me that. When I graduated high school, he bought me a leather briefcase. Just to carry stuff in, just to have stuff. It had 4 pockets on it. And I had that thing until just a few years ago, and in a move I lost it. But it lasted the whole time. It never wore out. You buy quality stuff, and it'll last you. And you form a relationship with it almost. That old coat is now called the Legend. It's been everywhere. It's got almost 2 million miles under its belt, traveling across the country and back. I've held many women in my arms with it. There's a lot of memories in that old coat. But the figuring out what I'm going to do with my time, when I realized I have all this time, it was overwhelming. And then I realized, you can be happy now, Steve. I've lived a lot of happy. All my life would have been happy if it would not have been for the mistakes I made while drunk. I was a vicious, vicious alcoholic. Knew no bounds. There was nothing too mean to do, and there was no risk too great to try. That's not a regret in my life. Other than that, I had no regrets. You know, my parents raised me in a cult that pretty much fucked up most of my life. And they live across town. I love them. I can't hold that against them, because I know that they were truly entrenched in the faith of Jehovah's Witnesses, and they did what they thought was right. You got me? They never did anything that they knew in their mind was wrong. So how can I begrudge that, you know? And now my father has Alzheimer's, and he don't remember none of it now. And my mom's my mom. She's been something all her life. So I have all this time. So I'm enjoying life. And what I do, now to the subject, is I read. I read and I read. And I play music. And I take care of chores. And I read. And I think. And I ponder. And I write. It's my dream come true. The only thing that's going to make it better is if I can convince the local newspaper to let me write op-eds for them. I don't know what I'm waiting on. Maybe fear of rejection. I just haven't reached out. But I read something really good today. Of all my reading, you all know what's going to hit me between the eyes the hardest when I see it. And that's something about religion. And all the news I've been getting recently about religion leans toward the good side. Some of it's just completely good. Ain't no lean about it, like today's. They estimate that there are more witches practicing Wicca in America than are evangelical Christians. You realize evangelicals only make up probably about half of the Christian population. I don't know, something like that. But the number of Christians are dropping daily. What I read today is supported by an article I read last month that told how the secularists, called nuns, N-O-N-E-S, outnumber. It's either all Christians or evangelicals, and I'm thinking it's evangelicals. It's getting close to all Christians. Atheists and agnostics are in that category. Because here's the thing. Religion, as it is practiced and known today, is no longer an option for freedom. That's right. You can quote me. You can hate me. That freedom has been abused. It is responsible for more deaths, the Abrahamic religions, than any other thing in the world. The greed that runs the world now got into power on the back of Bible verses. Spit out by politicians who didn't know a fucking thing about the Bible, but one of their aides said, if you read your constituency this scripture about homosexuals, they'll vote for you. It's run its course. Now, the freedom of thought we'll always have. The freedom to do good we'll always have. But if religion worked, if prayer worked, it would be very fine with you minding your business, and that's what's going to take me into the witchcraft thing. If prayer worked, nobody would ever need to say ever that I prayed for you. Never. Because if prayer worked, you pick out your person that had cancer or just had bad luck getting jobs, and you'd say a prayer for them. And if there was a supernatural entity that answered those prayers, there would be no need, if you're a good, humble person, to let that person or anybody else know that it was your prayer that got them that job. But see, none of that shit's real. It's all imaginary. So the reason that people state out loud, I'll pray for you, you go on Facebook and there's prayer chains everywhere, so they can get recognition. Oh, he's such a good person. Look at it. Prayer sent. Yeah, that makes you a good person. Or to put a bumper sticker on your car about some of them. So here we go to witches. I studied witchcraft 10, 12 years ago and learned all about it. Same as I did paganism. And not so much the topic of paganism, but things I learned touch on it. Satanism, learned what that's all about. And the religion, I guess it's called religion, that makes the most sense is witchcraft. Because of its one main law, do no harm. And they mean it. If you're in a coven of witches and you hurt somebody, they're going to kick you out. And I learned that for most of them, the purpose of casting a spell on somebody is to relieve your mind of their presence so that they no longer rent space in your head. Most of them acknowledge we don't think the truck's getting ready to run over that sorry motherfucker or nothing. But I don't think about it anymore because that's the last thought I had of him. He's under the truck and gone. The reason that witchcraft is so much more suitable to people who have to have something to believe in. They have to have a community of peers that are on the same wavelength. That's natural. That's part of evolution. I'm not part of that. I'm in a fringe, 5%. I like the crowd. I like sitting on the outside, the population looking in. I got skills. I can go in the population and get along just fine. But I prefer it out here. But most people want a community. And things like that are not to be condemned. Not by atheists. If an atheist does it, they're wrong. I went from hellfire, raging atheist, anti-religionist, to a much better, calm attitude, where I've grew to understand the call of nature, the call of evolution, that people want to belong to a group. That's why most people live in cities. That's where all the population's at. So witchcraft gives them that group. And the reason y'all ain't heard about it, maybe somebody else, y'all read this or heard about it, it's because they keep their goddamn mouth shut. There's no need to preach. None. No need to get in somebody's business. They don't need you to live a certain way in order for their faith to be exercised. You got me? But any good thing, I don't want a bad thing to deal a blow to Christianity. We don't need to go from bad to bad. It needs to be a good thing. And this is, I approve. Until they step out of bounds and become something they've never been, which I can't see happen, but you never know. But it's a good salve, a balm, in a transition to a pure secularist world where you can have a group that does no harm. And does no harm means if you know of someone that needs the help that you can give and you don't give it, you're doing harm. That's not allowed. All right, that was my sermon for today. I got another topic in my head for the next one. Might even be later tonight. I don't know. It's about that Christian who got killed on that tribal island. I'll be back.